Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of BellyUpSports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
Bundesliga, we got in the relegation zone, we have 18 players Darmstadt and FC Cologne getting relegated down to Bundesliga 2. Bochum will be in a play-in game to see who will stay in the Bundesliga or the third place team from Bundesliga 2, who either they get promoted or Bochum stays up top on top flight. So there's that. All right, teams of note in the standings. I mean, Union Berlin, a team that, many thought was going to keep getting better and better, had a huge break off. They finished in 15th place. Remember, this team got promoted to the Bundesliga a few years ago. And like I said, consistently kept playing good, playing better and better. So many people were thinking that maybe they can, finish in a Champions League spot. But they had a huge fall off, almost on the verge of getting relegated back down to the Bundesliga 2. Borussia Mönchengladbach, another team who finished in 14th, has been kind of having a little bit of a drop off in the recent years. So that's where they are as well. Wolfsburg, another team of note, finishing in 12th. Heidenheim has been a very interesting story. They finished in 8th place. Hoffenheim, I believe, has the American coach. Don't remember off the top of my head his name, but he's like a sneaky, it's a guy that no one's really talking about. And that's it is kind of disrespectful that we aren't giving this guy as much. Pellegrino Matarazzo. We don't really give this guy his flowers. I believe Hoffenheim was pretty down bad when he came and took over, and I mean, 7th place, like that. Actually, as I'm saying this, we should probably be talking about. So Heidenheim, like I said, we were talking about them. They're going Europa Conference League, so really great for them. Really great for them. So very positive for them to be having European competition. Hoffenheim in that Europa League spot. So just giving more love to Pellegrino. Is it Pellegrino? Yeah, Pellegrino Matrazo. Yeah. So Pellegrino, man, we got. I'll say this, man. We got to start giving some love to Pellegrino. Obviously we keep flaunting Jesse Marsch. We need to start giving Pellegrino some love because that dude has been a fucking grinder, especially in the Bundesliga, has a ton of Bundesliga experience. And I think what he was able to do with Hoffenheim was really impressive. So Pellegrino, I'm gonna give you this. This is your love for you right now, dude, bro. I'm giving you your flowers, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing it. You're clearly doing something right. Because Hoffenheim now in an Europa League spot. So congrats to him. Eintracht Frankfurt will be staying in the Europa League as well. And this year, Bundesliga got 5 Champions League spots. I believe it was also a combination of the fact that Real Madrid already won their league and obviously is in the final. PSG won their league. Bayern Munich was already in a Champions League spot. Borussia Dortmund was sitting at 5th place. They would have been in an Europa League position, but because of the fact that I think 3 of the 4 teams that were in the semifinals were already in that Champions League position, that it garnered a league to have an extra spot. And I'm guessing because of the fact that there was 2 Bundesliga teams in the semifinals, That was the reason why they went ahead and added a extra spot for Champions League in the Bundesliga, and Borussia Dortmund is that team. Um, they're in the final, so be excited for that. But they will be in the at least guaranteed to be back in the Champions League this year. And then the other Champions League teams is RB Leipzig, Bayern Munich, who finished in third this year, because VfB Stuttgart finished in second, which amazing story. Once again, I told everybody, like, if it wasn't for the fact that Bayer Leverkusen had the year that they had, we'd probably be giving some love to Stuttgart, because what a turnaround, what a season for them to finish in second. I think very just overall solid performance for Stuttgart, and now they're going to get rewarded by going into the Champions League next year. And of course, the winners, Bayer Leverkusen, who went undefeated, lost in the Europa Conference League final. We'll talk about that more next week. But yeah, uh, an amazing season. They did win the DFB Pokal, so they do get a double. I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. I think it is kind of a relief that Bayer Leverkusen didn't win the Europa League. And I'll say that, like, obviously this sounds stupid, because like who wouldn't want another trophy? But it's because we would then have to have the conversation, right, of where does this treble lie? Because obviously people are going to keep throwing out the perfect season, right? The perfect season, which is not perfect season in Bundesliga now, but obviously because Europa League they lost to Atalanta. But yeah, I was kind of just over. I think for Bayer Leverkusen, it's good. They had an amazing season. There's no one's gonna take that away from them. First undefeated team in Bundesliga history. Uh, the records on that this year had from Xabi Alonso and his men, all amazing. But I just think if they would have won the Europa League, the conversations were gonna get a little bit ridiculous, because I think a lot of people, and that includes myself, wasn't going to rate this treble because of the fact that it was an Europa League. Like, people would still rate the treble over others, maybe kind of mid Champions League runs, but like at the end of the day, the Europa League is the Europa League. It's not the Champions League. So, and obviously, no one said that that's the hierarchy, the necessary pathway to a treble. But like I said, though, like, it's hard to like argue because they did go undefeated. But the other argument would be that it's kind of hard to kind of, you know, value the Europa League, because I think Champions League is significantly harder to win. You're going up against tougher competition. Um, and I know so many people were like, "Oh man, it's a shame that stop saying that it was a shame that, or Bayer Leverkusen wasn't in the Champions League this year." Because Champions League, you only get put in Champions League depending on how you did the previous year. So, and I mean, Bayer Leverkusen was really good last year. Obviously, once Xabi Alonso took over, they were able to flip their season around because they were looking pretty bad before Xabi Alonso, and I get all those things, but like, you play who you play, and I don't want to take that away from anybody. Like, I don't want to take away from Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and PSG, who worked their asses off to make it to the semifinals, going through a lot of tough competitions. Having to go up against Atletico Madrid, having to go up against Manchester City, having to go up against Barcelona, having to go up against Arsenal and so on and so forth. Like, it's not, people are saying that it's not fair to Bayer Leverkusen. Well, it's not fair to the teams that actually went through the gauntlet of the Champions League. So, like, Bayer Leverkusen was in the Europa League because that's where they finished last year. This year, they're going to be in Champions League. Now, it's going to be a little bit different now, because once again, Champions League is going to be different. The format for the Champions League is going to be drastically different than the way it was this season. And so there's going to be some question marks. There's going to probably be some frustration, but it is what it is. I'm going to be happy for Bayer Leverkusen for having the year that they had, but I am not going to try to oh, it would be a shit. No, like, dude, they're about to go compete in Champions League next year. They have a chance to try to replicate what they did this next year. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think they can replicate an undefeated season. But they had an amazing year. Be happy about the amazing year. Um, and don't try to get Bayer Leverkusen is going to be a team that people are going to start using more on FIFA. I'm just going to or EA Sports. I'm sorry, EA Sports FC. Actually, no, because FIFA 2K5, 2K25 might have is happening apparently. So there might be a FIFA. So we'll see what happens there. But congratulations to Bayer Leverkusen, champions, undefeated champions. So what an amazing season for this was, I would honestly say, Bundesliga was probably like the best out of all the seasons, probably one of the better seasons in my opinion, because it the even though Bayer Leverkusen ran away with it, I don't think anybody was mad that it was Bayer Leverkusen that ran away with it, and so that's where I'm at with that. But amazing season nonetheless, man.